This is DJ Coco Chanelle, formerly of BET Networks and WQHT Hot 97. I want to share a story with you about a man named Tysheem Crocker. Now, Tysheem was arrested at the age of 19 back in 1998 in York County, Pennsylvania, and he was wrongfully convicted and sentenced to life plus 30 for a crime he did not commit. Now, the Innocence Project is involved, and there's been investigations, and there's evidence of corruption, coercion. There's newfound evidence. There's old evidence that was hidden for 24 years. There's witnesses who should have been called to testify that was critical to the case who were never contacted. And there's new people willing to speak up. Even the victim's own mother is willing to testify that she was told 24 years ago by two prosecutors working on Tysheem's case, that they knew he did not kill her son. And then they told her who did kill her son. They told her the name of the person. They hid this information. So that's a Brady violation. They hid this information. This just got revealed to Tysheem and his team in last year in 2021 when the Innocence Project got involved, and they put their investigators and lawyers on the case, and that's how it came out. The star witness, it turns out the star witness for the prosecution in Tysheem's case was the actual killer that they revealed to the victim's mother. And so this case is insane. It's insane. And there's so many twists and turns to it. So I'm going to play you this audio right now of Tysheem in his own words, giving you more details to the case. And please listen to this audio, share it with your family and friends. And please don't forget the petition that we have up on change.org/Tysheem Crocker. Please share it with your family, your friends, and to everyone who signed it already. Thank you so, so much. We truly appreciate you. And without further ado, I'm going to get into this audio with Tysheem Crocker.
I've been in prison for 24 and a half years, since January 1998. And it's been a long time. I'm ready to come home.
24 years ago, Tysheem lost his freedom because of corruption, coercion, and false testimony by his co-defendant, Danny Steele, who was also the star witness for the prosecution in Tysheem's trial.
The detective who charged me, fingerprinted me, offered me a deal, and the deal was 2.5 to 5 years. He told me I should take it before someone else did, but I didn't know anything, and there was no way I was going to tell all my friends. But that deal was definitely available to me that Danny Steele ended up taking, and I refused it.
Danny Steele later recanted his story under oath, stating that he was pressured by the district attorney to lie about Tysheem's involvement in the murder in exchange for a 2-year plea deal.
Danny Steele took the 2.5 to 5 years to save himself and to line his friends up. The deal that the detective was talking about, and he said I should take before someone else takes it, that's the deal that Danny Steele took. Danny Steele also negotiated this deal, and pretty much in a letter he wrote to the prosecutors, told them that he would help them in all the right ways for this deal. And helping them in all the right ways meant demonstratively testifying falsely and being unable and incapable of not lying when the truth was available.
One of the most unusual things about this case is the fact that the victim's own mother is willing to testify that she was told by 2 prosecutors working the case that they knew Tysheem didn't do it. And not only did they know Tysheem didn't do it, they knew exactly who did.
In December of 2021, after sitting down with my legal team, I discovered that the victim's mother in my case told my investigator that Danny Steele had killed her son and she had been informed this by two prosecutors that prosecuted me, that worked on my case. And then prior to that, that had never been disclosed to us, what they knew, what they suspected, or what they was telling the victim's mother behind the scene.
The prosecutor in this case failed to call important witnesses to testify. Witnesses who could have helped prove Tysheem's innocence have proof that they submitted critical evidence 24 years ago in Tysheem's defense. These witnesses were never called to testify, and the evidence that they submitted was never used. They continue to support Tysheem and are willing to testify on his behalf.
There's a hotel clerk who actually worked the desk on the night in question, and she was not available for my trial. She was deliberately not available for my trial. Instead, her boss, the manager, came and testified as a Commonwealth witness, as a state witness. And today, she is available, and she has compelling testimony, as well as, evidence that she turned over documents that could have proved my innocence, that could have been exculpatory, and also discredited Danny Steele 24 years ago. She turned that over to the police 24 years ago. They never turned it over to us. When the judge in my trial instructed the jury, during jury instructions, he explained to the jury that if I wasn't at the motel, then obviously I couldn't be a part of this agreement. And if I wasn't part of the agreement, that I wouldn't be found guilty.
I first learned about Tysheem a few years ago, back in 2019, through his childhood friend Tank. I had just worked on a case for Tank, and so he told me about Tysheem, and he asked me if I would consider writing a letter on Tysheem's behalf. And so at that point, I really didn't know much about this case. I did know that it involved a homicide, but that's pretty much all I knew. It's natural instinct for me to have compassion for the victim and the victim's family. You know, as a lot of you guys know, my brother Andre was killed back in the 90s. And so this is a touchy subject for me. And I would only get involved with a case like this if I knew for a fact that the person I'm supporting is innocent. I asked Tysheem to send me over all of his case files, and he did that. And ever since I looked over his files, I've been a believer and a supporter. I know this man is innocent. So if you look at the petition that I created on change.org, I list 10 reasons why Tysheem should be exonerated. And I'm going to go over some of those with you guys. One, there was a Brady violation. The victim's mother is willing to testify that the prosecutor told her 24 years ago they knew Tysheem didn't kill her son, and they knew who did it. They never revealed this information. This information just came out last year when the Innocence Project got involved and investigated. There's witnesses who saw Tysheem a couple of blocks away when the crime took place. There's newly discovered evidence. Actually, it's old evidence that was submitted 24 years ago that could have cleared his name, but the district attorney never submitted this information, never brought it up in trial. So there's old evidence that no one even knew was there, that was turned in, that was not submitted. So basically, they withheld evidence. The star witness in this case is actually the killer. The star witness in this case is actually the killer. That was never revealed, which is why there's been a Brady violation. There's so many different things. The hotel clerk, who's a critical witness, was willing to come forward and was not called to testify during the trial. And so, like I told you earlier, there's so many twists and turns in this story. And, I just have to admire Tysheem for consistently maintaining his innocence and not giving up. He's used his time in prison to the best of his ability. I mean, he overcame illiteracy. He learned to read. He achieved his high school equivalency diploma. He received multiple certifications. He became a self-published author of multiple books. He became the CEO of his own publishing company, and he also creates legal documents and motions for inmates who can't afford lawyers. And so he's doing so much with his time to be productive and doing the right thing, and he's doing all this while fighting for his freedom. And one thing that I just want to remind you guys of, this is actually not just about Tysheem. This is bigger than Tysheem. It's bigger than Tysheem, because what you have to understand is that there's so many people in America who are being wrongfully convicted. And the more people that we can get free, like when we shine a light on people like Tysheem and they get exonerated, it helps shine a light on the other people behind him. So this is bigger than just one person. What we want to do is we want to get the attention of people who can make a decision and make a change and get Tysheem his freedom. There's a couple of people we want to get to. One is Dave Sunday. Dave Sunday is the current district attorney for York County, Pennsylvania. The paperwork has been submitted to Dave. It's in his office. Hopefully it's on his desk. We want to get his attention and have Dave really pay attention to this case and hopefully do the right thing. The other person we want to bring awareness to is John Fetterman. John Fetterman is the Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania. He is an angel to the people. There's not many politicians that I can say I feel have integrity. I feel like a lot of these politicians will say whatever they think the people want to hear, and then they get in office and they get amnesia. John Fetterman said what he was going to do when he got in office, and when he got in office, he actually did what he said he was going to do. And that says a lot. It shows his integrity. He fights for people like Tysheem, so he is definitely someone that we want to get the attention of. John Fetterman, Dave Sunday, and there's some other people as well that I list in the petition. I gave you guys a whole list of people that you can contact to help make a difference with Tysheem. So please go to the petition, change.org/Tysheem Crocker, and sign it and share it with your friends. And just know that you are making a difference in many lives. Once again, my name is DJ Coco Chanelle. I'm formerly of BET Networks and WQHT Hot 97. And I can be reached online. You can go to my Instagram or my Facebook. And I just want to say thank you. I thank you. Tysheem thanks you, his family, friends, and his supporters. Thank you.